Oh, what's up, y'all? Coming in here from Bella Vista Lookout. This is my neighborhood sunset spot, and I'm just about to head off for an evening run, and I thought I would take a little diversion on my drive, show you where I come most evenings with a book, maybe my notebook, and sit down and watch the sunset from here. Not bad, huh? A lot of cyclists out here on the road too. It's a great spot for a ride and a run. Yeah, why don't we just have a seat? This here is on my normal running route in the morning. If I go out for an hour and a half recovery run, I can usually get a nice 6 miles in, hugging the mountain range here. I get out here on the road, and the nice thing is, it's a beautiful view, as you can tell. Santa Barbara off in the distance, cloaked in some mist right now. You can't see that. And then off in the distance over there on that side, you have the Channel Islands. That's Santa Cruz Island over there. Any given time of the year, the sun's setting somewhere off in that distance. So it's a beautiful place to run, but I also get a lot of vertical gain too. For an hour, I'm clocking in about 1,300 feet of elevation gain, which for a race like UTMB is really beneficial to have in just a normal run. So even though that's a lot of extra effort and adds a significant amount of tax to your recovery runs, it's going to be a huge benefit. So I'm lucky for that, besides the fact that I will just never be able to complain about running in a place like this. So I'm gonna head down there to the beach right about now, get an evening base run in before I head home, do a strength workout, and go to bed because I'm really tired. But after I do that, I'll share a little bit about how I am scheduling out the remainder of my training, factoring in a 50K race that I have this weekend and some back-to-back extra long runs that I have in the following weekends after that. How I'm gonna be scheduling both my training and my racing, as well as my rest, because I'll be honest, it's catching up with me and I am sleeping a lot. I had to squeeze in an extra nap today because I was getting so tired. So that's it for right now. I'll catch you in a little bit. How you doing, buddies? So you've had the chance to see my sunset spot and my beachside jogging spot. I thought you would enjoy taking a look at my island view spot. Here we are at the Santa Barbara Botanic Gardens, and this is truly one of my favorite spots in all of Santa Barbara. And this section is the Island View Garden, and it gives you a beautiful view of the Santa Barbara coastline and the Channel Islands off in the distance. And I come here about once a week, usually on Sunday or Monday, and I bring my planner and I sit down without any distractions, just the beautiful environment and the incredible flora and plant life all around. And there's some mountains off in the distance behind us and the ocean in front of us. And without that distraction, I'm able to sit there and focus and get an idea of what my next week or two or month is going to be. So speaking of planning, I thought I would share a little bit about how planning truly is one of the greatest resources that I have in my training schedule. And in maxing out the benefits of planning and building out a proper training routine, I have included for the first time a coach in this process. I have mentioned this before. My coach in partnering with me on my road to UTMB is Zach Bitter. Zach is an absolutely elite and iconic ultra runner. He's been around the block for quite a few years now and has been leading the game. The guy is incredible. He's got world championships and countless first place finishes at some of the world's best races. And if I'm going to have anybody in my corner, I am just lucky to have somebody like him. He is an invaluable resource, and I've come to really trust his authority and his experience on this process. It takes a whole heap of a lot of planning in order to maximize the training that's required for UTMB, 106 miles and 32,000 feet of elevation gain. And with that, that can be upwards of 10 to 15, maybe 20 hours a week. So that's building my training into a life that already requires work and social life and rest and all the other things that go into making your life successful. So since I know that one of my biggest priorities for this time in my life is finishing UTMB, then I can make that the priority in my schedule as well. I know that working with my coach, Zach, and creating a training routine that is right for my goals and for the hopes that I have for UTMB, I have a set amount of time and a set time allotted each day and each week to both running and strength training in order to accomplish that goal. And knowing that I have those commitments every single day, whether it's a recovery run or a speed session or a base run or a long weekend run with some climbing, I can also know that with that comes strength and calisthenics around that, whether it's beforehand or after the run, that I'm going to have to factor in extra time for preparing and eating the fuel that I need in order to properly accomplish that training for the day. So that is the daily aspect of that planning, and knowing 7 or 14 days out what that's going to be, I can plan out every single day based on what that requirement is going to be, and factoring in all the other ancillary aspects of my life around that, whether that's work schedule, a busier social schedule for that day or that week, and then just the rest and recovery, making sure that I'm getting as much sleep as possible in the days where I need it most. And then on top of that, I have my long game building out towards the ultimate goal race, which is UTMB on September 1st. And in the journey to get there as well, I'm factoring in build-up races. And those races are placed throughout my training in order to incrementally increase my mileage, as well as practice all sorts of things that come up on the race day, whether that's implementing a fueling plan or trying out certain gear, new shoes, getting a sense of how my body is going to respond on race day, not just to an average training session in the mountains. And that is pretty key for my success, especially as in the past I have mentioned some of the health issues that I face on race day. I'm trying to do as much as I can to mitigate all the unknowns in the process. And this weekend, I have a 50K called the Elder Creek Night Run, and that is in Orange County in the evening time, right around sunset, straight through into the nighttime. So you get to practice your evening transition to night. So you're gonna go out there, it's gonna be hot, and then it's gonna cool off. You're gonna go out with headlamps and all the gear that you need. And it's a 50K, so it's gonna be a nice long effort on my feet as well. And then 2 weeks after that, I'm gonna have a 50 miler, and that's gonna be up in the Sierras. And that's gonna be pretty close to the elevation profile, the terrain that I'm going to face in Chamonix when I get there at the end of the month. And that 50-mile race is about 4 weeks out from race day at Chamonix, so it'll give me a good amount of time to recover and get my body back to full health before the ultimate race. So that's just about it. The key to this, as with just about everything, is planning every single day, knowing when I will run, when I will eat, when will I strength train, when will I stretch and roll out, when will I sleep, and how much will I sleep. Planning to a T. And my coaching, thanks to Zach, has been so helpful with that, knowing exactly how much time I have to plan into my schedule and how detailed I have to be with that. He has been a great and invaluable resource so far. I'll leave his information in the description below. Give him a buzz, see how he might be able to help you in your next race or in your next training cycle. That is going to be it for me. I'm roasting here in the sun. I'm going to grab some shade and enjoy the view for a little bit before I head back home, have a big meal, and get some more training in this evening. I'll catch you next time. Thank you for joining me today on my journey to UTMB. Safe travels, happy trails. Catch you next time. Take care.